Welcome to today's live stream. What we're going to be talking about are two trade opportunities that have already transpired early in the morning in regards to the trading markets. We set those up yesterday in yesterday's live stream. The link's in the description box for you to watch that after today's live stream, so you can basically recount all of those different events. You can see how we basically lined up the market, how we looked at what the market was going to do, and how it literally unfolded so far this morning. So that's already two opportunities, literally less than 24 hours into the market open, where you could have had really good trades. We're going to unpack that in today's session. We're going to look at some other currency charts in today's session as well. So give me 2 seconds. Everything seems to be working fine. Let me just do one thing, and we're basically going to get straight into the charts straight away. All right. Cool. All right. So what generally tends to happen is every single day you're trading the Forex markets, two things you need to do. You need to check your Forex trading journal, your business plan template, and then you need to check the fundamentals, what scheduled data is coming out in the markets. Those are two fundamental things I recommend everyone does before you start trading the markets, before you now get into the charts. Okay. We've done that in previous sessions. You can go back over our channel, what the public live streams that we've had recently. We're basically detailing all of these things. So we're not going to basically spend much time on that today. Next thing on the agenda, you may hear, we've talked about this yesterday, we've talked about this in the past, on top of the fundamentals, forexfactory.com, different websites, your broker probably has an economic calendar for you to look at. The next best thing, or the better thing than that, is an audio live news feed, basically. So you may hear that popping out here and there as the news feed plays. I want to do that so you can actually understand what it's like to basically be looking at the markets in real time and actually hearing fundamental data hit the market. There's a link in the description box. You can get a free trial to a live news feed, the one I use as well, so you can test it out and see what it's like. There is a paid option at some point in the future if you want to continue to get it, but there's also other ways you can try and get it for free as well. All right, so this is one of the opportunities. This isn't one of the trades that has actually materialized as of yet. This is one of the opportunities we were looking at yesterday on yesterday's live stream. And yesterday's live stream is in the description box as well, like I said, for you to watch after this video. But the point I'm basically making here is this is an opportunity that we highlighted as a potential trade opportunity if price decided to basically come into this particular region, highlighted in yellow, as you can see. Okay. Now, just full disclosure, looking at this chart right now, there's so much lessons we can unpack from this. I was just literally telling my wife a few moments ago, look, I need to relax. I need to just be calm. It's early in the week. There's still so much, there's 80% of the trading week left to go. Just because I'm going to be on this live stream, just because my attention is going to be somewhere else, like there's more opportunity ultimately. Okay, and this is a vital lesson that we need as forex traders when we're looking at the market. Okay, so right now it's in the region. I don't want you to get carried away. We did our analysis yesterday. That live stream's in the description box, like I just said. Secondly, we identified that we're going to be looking for sell positions to start the week on, well, I'm going to be looking for potential sell positions. Let me just drop the disclaimer straight away. I'm not going to take any part in your profits. I'm not going to take any part in your losses. This is not financial advice. This is my thinking, my thoughts, my opinion on what I'm looking at in the markets. So yesterday I ascertained that, you know what, I want to look for potential sell positions on the euro Japanese yen, basically. And I was basically highlighting that down from about 119.40, which is pretty much this region right here. And this is where price is literally currently right now in real time as we speak. Okay, so that's something to focus on. I said targets, I'm going to be looking to take a target about 117, but more likely 117.50 was what I was basically saying, which is basically here. As at a best case scenario, basically, I'm not going to be trying to like put targets all the way down here in these regions, because literally most of the time the markets have actually moved, it's consistently dropped. If it was about 6-7 times, it's literally hit this part every single time. Okay, so that's something to consider. Now, one thing I'll say as well is, which I think is really important, I'm reading from my notes if you're wondering what I'm looking over to the right. Yesterday, everything was explained in yesterday's live stream. Like I said, again, it's in the description box below for you to watch after this video. What I recommend you do is, it doesn't have to be a journal, it can be in your phone, just on some sort of entry system, however you're going to do it. Jot down while the market is closed what way you think the market is going to go, kind of important levels in the markets that you think are really important. It's important that you basically do this in real time first and foremost before trying to do it after the fact when the market's actually moving and they can emotionally sway your decisions. Okay, so the things I've already talked about I've done based on just market close and no emotion, just much more logic than anything. Okay, so just bear that in mind. Now let's look at this. So we're not going to go higher time frame right now because we've done all the analysis already. Now we're just basically looking at what the market's doing. We're going to go down first and foremost because I want to show you something really quickly. Okay, so as you can see, price, okay, from basically this morning, ranged and then pushed up. Okay, and just the moment, like 20, 30, 45 minutes ago, however long it was, decided to come into this region. Now, some people are going to look at this and be so excited. I'll do that again. Okay, much better. They're going to look at something like that, that first green circle that I just highlighted. And this is a big mistake a lot of traders make. I say this over and over again. I don't trade like this. If I'm trading like this, then it's going to be like emotional, and that's not what we want. It's going to be reactionary. We don't want to be reactionary. We want to be ahead of the market. Okay, in the sense that I'm talking, as in we're planning things out ahead of time and looking to see what happens. Okay, this is the first opportunity. This is the first time price has come into this particular region, and loads of people are going to start trying to sell from this region because they're just trying to trade from the level blindly. Okay, now you can do that, that can work, but we want to put the things in our favor as much as possible. Okay, so as soon as the market comes into it, yes, we want to wait and see what happens. Yes, you can see there's a good amount of time here in regards to what the market's actually been doing. But generally, a lot of the time, the first time it goes in there, okay, back, you have to wait, and like let it try and test it. Generally, it will tend to like move out of the region and come back into the region because they know that a lot of people are looking at this trying to get in. This is why I'm not surprised that, especially on the euro yen, which seems to be generally a volatile currency, much more than stuff like the euro dollar that we'll get into later. But price came into the region firstly. Then, what did it do? It now shot back up again, got deeper into the region. Okay. And what did it do a second time? Something very similar. It started to drop. People are going to now start selling, trying to go down. And what does the price do again? Now it's pushing up. Now, excuse me, price, as you can see right now in real time, what's it doing? It's basically trying to break through the region. Why am I not surprised at that? There's a couple of things. Oh, Israel, oh, but you drew up this level, you're supposed to trade it. Not necessarily. Why? Because we do this analysis before it happens. So when the markets are hitting these regions, like this, we don't just become emotional. Because I tell you right now, look at this. Let's go to, I wanted to go lower and to now go higher for you to see what I'm basically talking about here. But I wouldn't be surprised if this currency, firstly and foremost, the currency could just skyrocket through the roof and not go down. Okay, you always have to be ready for that. That's why we risk minimal amounts of money on the trading account. Always have to be ready for that. That's just a given. You could always be wrong. Secondly, what you need to focus on is something specific to currencies like the euro yen. I've already highlighted it already. This is a very volatile currency. What does that mean? Well, similar to the trade we took on the pound against the dollar last week, that was a winning trade. I explained in that scenario that price shot up through the area that I wanted to trade, stopped me out on a reckless trade that I really shouldn't have taken, came back, and then I jumped in and did what I expected it to do, and went to the targets, 153 pips on that particular trade. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if price decided to try and break through and then basically come back, because 1 right here, 2 right here, and let's just question mark, okay, potentially 3. These are always opportunities. People are coming into trade. People that know that the long-term euro yen move seems to be down, so they know people are trying to sell. So they can't just put into the level and then just drop it down, because so many people are trying to be prepared for that. These 3 trades, 1, 2, and potentially 3, are areas where people that are less experienced are basically going to enter the trades thinking, oh, okay, yeah, the markets, we know it's going down. Maybe they listened to the live stream yesterday and they're like, okay, cool, Israel kind of broke all of this analysis down and it makes sense. Let me go short. But they say, okay, cool, as this trade gets stopped out there, as this trade gets stopped out here, as potentially another trade gets stopped out there, what's happening? All those people that are going short are saying, no, you know what, I'm wrong, the market's going up. What's happening? They're being reactionary. They're getting into trades really aggressively. They're getting stopped out and then they turn around and saying, okay, cool, I'm getting it wrong, I need to switch the position. Now they go long. When the market eventually does what the long-term momentum is actually doing most likely, it goes short. Now they lose another time. Now they're chasing the market. So you have to understand these kind of things. Now we can go up, and I can show you something very specific now for you to see here. Now look at the 1 hour chart and look at the insights. Look at what let me show you this. Look at the 1 hour chart, as you can see. Now look at this. Can you see that? Although this is the level that we've drawn on, okay, as a potential opportunity, look at this right here. Now, if you were with us yesterday on the live stream, if you're paying attention, I was highlighting the same thing that I've alluded to already in regards to the pound against the dollar. Price, especially on an erratic currency like the euro yen or the pound against the dollar, could easily shoot through. Okay, price, disregard that last part. Price has, we're looking at a 1 hour chart, and I was highlighting, look, the price, what's price been doing? Down, 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 down. Now we're in question mark. Is price going to go down again in line with the long-term momentum? Yes, it could potentially do that, but what do we have to be mindful of? That price could try and do something like this. Again, what we call a FBR or false breakout, FB. Okay, so price may try and push up, then subsequently move down, but you have to be prepared for this. This is why when price is moving into this region, I'm cautious. Because it's not like, let's say, for example, like the Aussie dollar or the Euro USD, the Euro dollar, which could do the exact same thing. They could do a false breakout, but they're not as likely to do it like the Euro yen is, per se. So these are the things that come with nuance, understanding the different markets that you're basically trading, okay? And you're going to fast track this process by putting in their man hours or the woman hours, basically, or lady hours into the charts and actually looking what's going on. Let's look at a 5 minute and see, more specifically, back to the 5 minutes, see what price is doing. Let's go to a lower time frame. You'll learn very quickly there's nothing wrong with looking at lower time frames. The problem comes in a lot of cases when you're trying to just trade religiously based off of those time frames. Okay, it's not something that you should devote yourself to. Okay, as a Christian, I devote myself to my religion, to my beliefs in God, but I don't look at a 2 minute chart, a 3 minute chart and say, look, this is the only time frame I'm looking at. It doesn't make sense. You have to value these things on a different level. Okay, so let's continue to watch and see what happens in regards to the euro yen. It's in that particular region It's about just waiting to see what happens. If price decides to leave a candle like that, for example, that'll be good. And if price now does something like this, and then we start seeing candles like this come after, then we're going to be in a good position. But we need to wait and see to see exactly what's going to happen in regards to this market. This is the euro yen. This is just one example, as I've already said. Let's look at another currency. Let's do this. Let's look at another currency. What we're going to look at, let's look at the pound against the dollar. Why not? See what we're doing? We're waiting. If price is in this particular region now, if over the next 5 minutes we're looking at another currency and price shoots down, then we missed it. We weren't going to get into that trade anyway, because we want to see more activity at the level. Okay, this isn't. How did I start? I said, look, I was speaking to my wife before the live stream. Look, just relax. I'm saying to myself, relax. The markets look like they're ready right now, but then at the same time, in a lot of ways, I'm here on a live stream teaching. It's not giving me the opportunity per se, the focus to basically do what I want to do. Okay. So when you think about it like that, from that perspective, what are we going to look at next? Let's look at the pound against the dollar and see what basically the pound against the dollar is doing. Based on, and before we even get there, I'll highlight. What did I put in my notes? I put, okay, I said the pound against the dollar is down. To start the week, we're looking for down positions. What happened so far in regards to the market open? The market basically opened, pushed back up to this area right here, as you can see, and then moved down. What are these two black lines here? These are black lines that we highlighted on yesterday's live stream. Again, links in the description box for you to watch that after today's stream. Okay. And if you've got any questions, by the way, you can basically call in if you want. You can basically put it in the chat box. If I see it, I'll basically try and answer it to the best of my capabilities. But when you think about what we're talking about here, the pound against the dollar is still doing what we thought it was going to do. We're highlighting these two areas here, saying, look, we think price is going to go down. If it's going to go down, where are the areas that we need to be mindful of that price may reverse? Is this coincidence that it's right next to this region here? No, it's not. Okay, this is what you need to become very familiar at understanding in regards to the market. So a lot of this stuff, okay, if you understand what's actually going on, you'll realize like the elements of ease to it. I'm not going to say it's easy, but there is an element of ease to what we're basically talking about here. Okay, so look at what the market's doing right now. This is a 15-minute view. Let's do this. Okay, just get familiar at analyzing the markets in different ways, doing analysis, giving yourself options, putting opinions, giving yourself opinions out there, writing them down, and just seeing what they do in regards to the opinion. If it's right, why was it right? If it was wrong, why was it wrong, etc. Look at charts in different ways and just keep it like that. So for example, price dropped down from this particular region here. Why did it drop down from this particular region here? Was it because this is what it did previously? Question mark. These are the things you have to identify and you have to ascertain. The better you get at analyzing these markets in these ways, the easier trading will become for you. I'm telling you. Okay. Obviously, as well, if you're watching with me, if you like what we're talking about here, make sure you smash the like button. Okay. Hit like button like you put a stop loss on your trade. Okay, to protect yourself from risk. In all seriousness. Okay. Liking the video, sharing this out with people does encourage me to do this more. Okay, just bear that in mind. So definitely make sure you hit the like button. But the pound against the dollar, we thought this market's going down to start the week. So far, it's provided an opportunity. This isn't one of the opportunities we even talked about potential trades that you could have been on based on what we discussed in yesterday's live stream. Okay, let's go to a higher time frame, a little higher. Let's look at what the 4-hour looks like. You can see, based on a lot of the current events, the last week plus, the market's just been moving down, just crazy. And if you know what you're doing, you're putting yourself in a position where you can actually make really good money in regards to the markets. Okay, right now we're basically trading on. We started with a trading account of £600 to show my private students, look, that you can start with a small amount of money and we can grow it over time, and we can kind of see what we can actually do. So those of you, don't make this mistake of thinking, oh, because you're starting with a small trading account, you're not going to be able to make money. No, you'll make money. Think about it from a percentage wise. This is why I always talk about percentages. I know I have my moments where I say, look, you could have made X, Y, Z, you could have made $100 in a day or $1,000 in a day. But the point I want you to understand, the underlying root to all of this stuff is, this is about percentages. Think percentages, think bigger picture. If we're trading with a £500, £600 account and we make a 13%, a 10% return, that's $60 in a day. Okay, that may pay for a week of, like, I don't know, like shopping. Okay, a light shop, or that may pay for like a movie subscription for the year. That may pay for like your weekly, I don't know, like I don't want to say coffee, but I know a lot of people drink coffee. I don't drink coffee, that's why I don't want to say it, but just a weekly pleasure of yours or a weekly hobby. It could pay for so many different things. Now when we start increasing that account balance, we say, okay, cool, we've traded from 500, £600, we've got to 1,000. Let's put another £500 in. Now we're at 1,500. Now all of a sudden, that 13%, that 10% looks like $150. Now we're talking about potentially you taking one day off of work for the week and trading from home to cover that extra day, that day that you take off. This is how we grow account and we think big picture. Now we start trading with a 1,500 account. We're building it slowly. After about 2-3 months, we've now got it to 2,000, maybe. Okay. Now with 2,000, that 150 looks a lot more like 200. So now you can much more comfortably take a day off. But now you can also take a day off from trading, from work, but you can also pay for that weekly pleasure that you have every single week. You can see how trading will gradually start to fund your life to the point where you're trading with a 10,000 account, 11,000, 20,000 and beyond, and you're putting yourself in a position where you can basically pay for your lifestyle. Okay, this is how you have to think about this kind of stuff. So let's see, you can see this is a closer view now with the 1 hour, what price is actually doing. Price is basically trending downwards and it's providing opportunities. These lines that we've put on, let's look at the 30-minute. All we're literally doing is looking for opportunities. So if price comes back into this region, is that going to correlate with where price dropped from earlier, plus also with this little mini trend line that you've actually drawn on? Maybe. Okay, these are the things you have to identify and say, okay, cool, this is what we're going to do. It's just that simple. So the pound against the dollar is dropping down. We've got the 115 region right here as, like I said, an area of significance. So let me even take that off. And all we basically do is we just watch it and say, okay, cool, what's going to happen? 15-minute view, pound against the dollar. Now let's look at one of the trade opportunities. Excuse me. We probably won't look at the Aussie dollar on this because the Aussie dollar, excuse me, we drew up that the Aussie dollar is moving down, but it was far away from the levels that we were talking about. So it seems to be the least volatile, which makes sense anyway because it generally is the least volatile. But at the same time, you have to understand that there's much more excitement, there's much more like liquidity in some of these other markets. So when it comes to you put yourself in those kind of situations, you deviate, you say, look, let me stay away from these, let me focus on these two more specifically. Let's look at the dollar yen. This is one of the opportunities we drew up yesterday, excuse me. And again, go back, watch the live stream, and you'll see, for example, how we set this up. So yesterday, we highlighted this bottom yellow region. We highlighted both of them as potential opportunities. Notice, price came into this first region. What did it do? Okay, it tested it. Okay, got a couple of people maybe taking a trade. Let's say you took a trade. Fair enough. You took one trade. Okay, 2%. You lose. Okay, does that now dictate if you take this second trade here from the second yellow region? It shouldn't, because ideally you should want to take this trade opportunity in this region because this is the stronger region. Okay, but let's say for example, you did lose the first trade and you take the second trade, price bounced into this region, okay, after moving down, and then provides an opportunity. That's right here. So now what do? Stop loss below. You enter the market. Target. Let me even show you. So look, let's draw this up. Because we had this region, let's take this all off. We had this region here in advance. This isn't something I put today. But let's just see. Okay. Stop loss, we're going to put our stop loss just below. Let's move this up a little bit. Move this up. Okay. What does that say? That's a 20 pip stop loss, 19.8, right? And then our reward. So if we've got 20 pip stop loss, let's look at this quickly. 20 pip stop loss, right? What does our target need to be based on the trading rules? It needs to be 3 to 1 at least, right? So what does that need to be? Well, for those of you who aren't the best at maths, 20 pips stop loss, it needs to be at least 60 pip target, correct? Okay, so now we're looking at 60 pips. Can you see this already? 71. $71. 71 pips. All right. So we need at least 60. 3 to 1 is right here. 80, which we're talking about 4 to 1, would be here. So you can see, look, price came into the region, really nice opportunity, and just in a series of waves, this is just 4 to 1. Let me show you this. So if 80 is 4 to 1, what's 5 to 1? 100 is right here. Look, 100 pips. This is 100 right here. So if for some reason you weren't already out of the trade, where price right is now would be knocking you out of the trade for profit, 5 to 1. That would be a 10% return. And based on the way we're doing things right now, okay, let me do this. Based on the way we're doing things right now, look at this. 10% profit target. Trading week could be over. 10%, that's it. Okay? One trade. When did we set this up? Did we do this in real time or did we do this before? We did this all yesterday. Okay? We did this all yesterday. So it's important you understand what's basically going on here. This is just one opportunity right here. This is the USD JPY. We set this all up literally yesterday. We can delete this first box now because it's literally proven. We've seen it. It's irrelevant anymore. But even if you took that trade, you lost 2% here. Then you took this particular trade from down here, which you should have if you're willing to take this particular trade. Now you're talking about 6+% percent. So at bare minimum, what are we going to be up on the week so far? 4% if we took the 6%. If we took 8%, maybe we'll be 6% up profit. If we took the 10%, maybe we'll be 8%. But I hope this makes sense. Let's go to the other trade opportunity. The Euro USD was the second one. Okay. We had these two levels on. What did price do? Price spent most of the evening shooting up into this region. And what did price do? A really great opportunity here. To get into a sell position. Let's do the same thing. Okay. Stop loss goes just above. We're talking about 1070-ish, 1078-ish region. Okay. Stop loss is going to be about 22 pips. So if it's 20 pips, what do we need? We need 60, right? So from 107, from about here, 107.55-ish, what do we need? If we're going to get 60, we need to go to 95. Right? Where's 95? 95 is about here. So this is where price will be literally closing out. Look how quick this was as well, by the way. 6 a.m. to about 7 a.m. This was done. Oh, but Israel now is pushing up. Why does that matter? That has nothing to do with the trade you potentially would have taken. Why? Because if you're in this trade, imagine this in real time. Price comes into this region, sideways, 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 gives you an opportunity to sell. You now sell. Price moves down. You take out your profit. You make a 6% return. You're smiling. If price now decides to shoot back up, what does that have to do with the trade you were taking? Nothing. The trade I took last week on the pound against the dollar, it went 150 pips in profit. Then the next 10, 12 hours, it went all the way back to where I entered. Do you think I care about that? No, I don't at all. Because after that, subsequently, it dropped down again. So just bear that in mind. Now price is back in this particular region, this window here. Let's see what happens. Let's look at a higher time frame. Price, which isn't a surprise, 1, 2, and now this third time, price is trying to push up to higher levels. We are looking for sell positions on the euro, but price is trying to push up to higher levels. But it's whether or not the market is going to allow it to do that, or if just the selling frenzy is going to continue. So just bear that in mind, okay? We're going to be unemotional about this. We're going to do a lot of things before they actually happen to prepare ourselves. So when we're in real time, when our emotions are going to try and get the best of us, when the markets are going to try and entice us and like try to pressure us into making decisions that we shouldn't be making, we're going to look back at this. We're going to look back at the analysis we did when we weren't being emotional. And we're going to say, what was I thinking? What was I looking at when I wasn't being emotional, when I was just looking at the markets and deciding, okay, what am I going to do, etc. These are the kind of things you need to think about, okay? I'm not looking at the tick chart right now and saying, okay, cool, look, price is doing this, price is moving up, all of this different kind of stuff. Like, no, that's not how it works. Until price shows me something otherwise than what I analyzed when the markets were closed, I've got no interest in changing my position, changing my mind right now, because I know in most case scenarios it's going to be emotional. Okay. But these are the two opportunities that both happened. Look at the time. Look at 6 o'clock, 6:30. These markets, the euro dollar was providing this opportunity. Okay. And the USD JPY was doing the same. 6:30, 6-ish, 6 o'clock. So when you think about it like this, this is just to start the week. There's already been 2 solid opportunities based on our analysis. There's other markets that are doing different things. This market is still looking to push up. It even pushed down this second time and tried to go back up again. Okay, loads of people. Let's say, for example, you're in this trade and your price hasn't been hit yet, and then you see this happen. How many people are going to close out here? You know what, let me just run. I don't want to lose. I don't want to be up in profits right now and then have it turn against me. Same thing that happened last week in regards to the pound against dollar trade. Go back and watch it. Last week's stream. Last week, it was the 4th day of the week and the 5th day of the week where I talk about it. But that happened to me. I stayed. I said, you know what, I'm waiting. So all of the people that jumped off here because they got scared, then price shot all the way back up and looks like it's probably even going to go further. Like, that's how you damage Forex psychology, because you now start feeling guilty. You now start saying to yourself, well, that's my profits that I'm missing out on now. Yeah, it is. But the reason it's your profits you're missing out on is because you got scared and you were fearful and you didn't make the right decision. Okay? These are things you have to understand. So just bear that in mind. Let's do this. We've looked at 4 currencies. Let's just end today's live stream talking about the euro yen and seeing what it's doing. Okay, cool. So look at what's happening right now. It's broken through more conclusively. The body hasn't broken through yet, but this is what it's doing. Okay. What's it doing? It's here trying to decide, is it going to keep going up? Is it going to drop? We're looking at this patiently saying, okay, cool. I'm looking for a sell position on this market. What if within, like, yeah, let's just wait and see though. Because if price starts to turn around and starts pushing down, we could be on for a really good trade here. Am I willing to find out? Am I willing to make that potential profit? Yes. I'm willing to put a little bit of risk on the table to potentially take a trade like this and see what happens. But I thought this is a good place anyway to kind of wrap up today's session. It doesn't need to be a long session. We've basically just looked at the markets in line with basically what we pretty much drew up yesterday. Most of the markets have done or are in the promotion of doing the present scenario of doing what we think they're doing. But this is the decisions we make. I'm not afraid to be wrong, ultimately, at the end of the day. So if it means basically I have to come on a live stream with egg on my face and say, you know what, I made a mistake, cool, I'll accept it. But I'm willing to take that risk on a potential trade if it means I can potentially make a potential reward in that sense. So on that note, thanks for tuning in. Look out for a live stream tomorrow as we basically come back and analyze what the markets have been doing again, and we talk about any potential trades. Definitely like this video, like the stream, share it with your friends. It makes YouTube realize that, you know what, we're actually doing good stuff for the community. And I'll see you at another day. Thanks and take care.